Welcome to this public meeting and thank you for attending. The purpose of tonight's meeting is to provide information regarding the Fish and Wildlife Service proposal to delist the Western Great Lakes distinct population segment of the gray wolf.
This is a pretty important process, and the department wanted to stand up here and let our position be known. So I'm going to give us a short statement here so that folks can understand where Wildlife Division stands on this issue. I'm here tonight to strongly urge the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to move this process forward and get management of wolves returned to state jurisdiction. The Upper Peninsula wolf population continues to grow. This past winter, our annual population survey produced an estimate of 687 wolves in the Upper Peninsula. In 2010, for the first time in over 100 years, wolves were observed on the Lower Peninsula. The wolf population in Michigan met the federal recovery goals in 1999 and the state recovery goals in 2004. Wolves were removed from the federal endangered species list in 2007 and then returned to the list by federal courts in 2008. Wolves were again removed from the federal list in 2009 and were returned to the list later in 2009. Wolves were removed from the state endangered species list in 2009 and remain off the state list. The director of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has committed to remove the Great Lakes wolf population from the Federal Register by the end of the calendar year 2011. A proposed delisting rule was published on May 5th, 2011. The 60-day comment period ends July 5th, and we encourage people to make comment. The state of Michigan currently has two laws on the books that allow us to manage problem wolves. Public Act 317 of 2008 allows the killing of wolves that are in the act of preying on livestock. And Public Act 318 of 2008 allows the killing of wolves that are in the act of preying upon dogs. However, neither law will go into effect until federal protection is removed. Although opponents of hunting and trapping may continue to litigate at the federal level, federal delisting is a high priority for the state of Michigan. Since 2008, Michigan has had a widely acclaimed wolf management plan accepted by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. That plan will guide wolf management once jurisdiction is returned to the state. We annually monitor the wolf population, in part to demonstrate that the wolf population remains above recovery criteria. We recommend animal husbandry practices to livestock owners to reduce losses from wolves. Lethal control of wolves continues to be the most effective management tool, but is unavailable to us at this time. We reimburse livestock owners for losses to wolves. We continue to research the impact of all predators on deer in the Upper Peninsula, and we continue to kill any wolves that exhibit a threat to human safety. In summary, wolves have met the recovery criteria and are not in danger of extinction. We have good laws and a plan in place to manage wolves in Michigan. But until the federal protection and anti-hunting litigation is resolved, wolves will be managed using the wrong tools, and many Michigan citizens will continue to be frustrated.
Good evening. I'd like to take just a couple of minutes here to deliver some brief comments to talk about some of the consequences of that frustration that Terry mentioned citizens face, and also some of the trends that we're seeing as a result of that frustration. Between 2004 and 2010, the department investigated or reported 335 reports of wolf activity. Those reports range from anything from I saw a wolf in my yard to livestock and pet depredation, or to what were perceived as threats to human safety. In that period, the Department of Wildlife and law enforcement divisions conducted approximately 217 on-site investigations. Many of these resulted in law enforcement investigations related to illegal activity. During the same time period, 71 carcasses of illegally killed wolves were recovered. Many of these cases remain open. The number of complaints, investigations, and recovered kills continue to increase as the population increases. 2010 represented a high year for all these criteria, with 2011 on a pace to exceed last year's levels. The biggest roadblock to closing open cases is the lack of cooperation and assistance from the public. Illegal wolf kills most often occur in remote areas where little evidence and even fewer witnesses exist. Rewards have not necessarily increased or facilitated the cooperation or the sharing of information. It is our impression that the reason for this lack of assistance is directly related to the size of the wolf population and the lack of perceived effective controls by the public. As Terry indicated, we do have 2 laws on the books that would afford us some ability to address some of the concerns that the public has, but at this point in time, those are not available to us until wolves are delisted. And the Law Enforcement Division does support the position of the Michigan Wolf Management Plan. Thank you.
Thank you for providing this opportunity for Michigan citizens to make their views known on this important topic. My name is Greg Andrews, and I'm here to represent the state of Michigan on behalf of Governor Rick Snyder. In comments delivered prior to mine, you have heard from state wildlife officials that the state of Michigan is ready and fully capable of assuming management control for wolves. I'm here to affirm that commitment. It is widely acknowledged by both state and federal wildlife officials that wolves have long achieved their biological recovery goals, and the time has long passed for the species to be removed from the endangered species list. This in part evidenced by the now 3 attempts to delist wolves in the state. The recovery of the gray wolf should be heralded as a stunning success of the Endangered Species Act. Instead, this has become mired by legal gamesmanship and histrionics. The inconsistencies brought on by these false starts have eroded public support for both wolves and the act, outcomes that none of us would feel are ideal. It is our hope that this delisting effort will be more durable than the others. Our citizens have been willing and effective partners in securing the recovery of Michigan's native wolf populations. However, our patience with this process is wearing thin, particularly when the reasons for the stalemate have nothing to do with the biology and management of the wolf and everything to do with the forces who profit from this delay and have neither the interests of sound wildlife management nor the interests of Michigan in mind. The state is ready to assume management control. Our citizens have waited long enough, and it is long past time that we acknowledge the immutable fact that wolves are fully recovered, their population is stable and growing, the habitat is secure, the act worked, and the patient can be released from the hospital. Thank you.